Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, buddy? I'm Smitt. That's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. This is Wager Maker Podcast number 46, Webb.
46. Time flies when you're having fun, Smitt. Limited numbers, though. We're getting to these funky numbers here, so I'm sure we saw the same shit. I got Lee Smith for number 46. I liked him back. He was a Cub, but he was nasty out there. I never liked, as a Met fan, you never liked Lee Smith to come in and close it out. Against
one of the big intimidating closers back in the day. Looked a little tough on the mound. Also, Todd Christensen, weird number for a tight end. The Oakland Raiders tight end was number 46, I think. Also, I don't know too many others that are number 46.
It was tough. That was a tough one. That was one of the tougher ones. Nothing came to mind at first, and that's probably the first.
I had to look it up. I admit I had to look that one up.
Yeah, me too. That was probably the first, maybe the second time that I didn't know somebody right off the top of my head. I got a good one for next week, though. 47.
47? Oh, I'll have to think about that. I don't have one on top of my head of that either. But once we get into we get out of these 40s, these late 40 numbers. There was plenty for 44, 42s.
Yeah,
but,
right.
40. Once we get into the 50s, it's going to be linebacker galore coming up in the 50s.
That's right. We got a couple hard ones. If after 47, it's going to be crickets. I think we have to come with pull out old college jersey or something.
All right. So the NFL schedule. Like I just want to say, man, it seems like obviously we're all down. It's got us going, and it's been a lot of bad news, but some things are starting to come out, to kind of makes you feel a little better about things, whether or not they pan out and turn out into reality or not. Who knows? But the NFL schedule came out. There's some baseball being played in Korea right now. The Major League Baseball came out and said they might have people do like a shorter training and start that in June and maybe get going in July with early July of baseball. So who knows if any of that stuff's going to happen? But at least there's some signs of life and some signs of these sports leagues not giving up and some things to bet on.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the greatest thing going on now is the live, even though it's South Korean baseball on ESPN, that always gets you going, and we'll get that figured out here sooner than later. But we're in it to win it. All those things are true. I mean, everything's going on. Certainly the NFL looks like it's just ignoring the whole thing, which is great. The NBA is opening their facilities. MLB is going to happen too. So it's just a matter of, and even hockey, I think we discussed it last week. Hockey said if you had to go into November, December to finish this season and kind of truncate the next year. I mean, that's that's like 8 months or 9 months long anyway, that season. So they could certainly fit if they wanted to fit two seasons into 18 months or something like that. So it's all happening, man. It will be come that opening week. We'll be fine that Labor Day weekend.
Right. And even I forgot to mention too, UFC 249 this weekend. We'll have some information about that later on. Talk to our boy Jeffrey Hoffman, your inside guy up there in New Jersey. We'll talk to him a little bit this week. Got some picks for the UFC 249. Stephen Doe, he's our UFC guy. He reached out to us and asked us what we're thinking about that. So we'll try and get that out to you tonight. I'll send you a message too, just in case don't get a chance to listen before tomorrow too. But
absolutely, yeah. That's exciting too. I'm not usually a wire to wire MMA UFC guy, but tomorrow night my viewing habits are going to be changed.
I already told Sharon, I was like, I think I might want to rent that MMA fight tomorrow night. What the hell else I'm going to do?
Right.
So
why not?
I've been waking up, Webb. I've been waking up the last three nights. I've been waking up at 4:30 in the morning here to watch Korean baseball.
Yeah,
how was that? Out of whack.
Yeah, is it worth your time? How was it?
Yeah, it's gambling.
I know that. I haven't watched one pitch, but I'm all over it. That's the first thing I do when I wake up. Still in bed, and I'm checking the scores and what's going on in fucking whatever it is.
So we did all right. We're kind of going back and forth. We lost a couple games yesterday. We got a couple games tonight. But most of the teams, they got the sponsors or the names. They got the Samsung team and the Kia team and the Kia lines. But it's just been good, but it's kind of weird to see. They got no fans in the stands, but cool things. Korean baseball has cheerleaders, which is pretty cool, and they still have the cheerleaders out there. They got masks on and stuff, but it's Korean cheerleaders. They're on the dugout doing.
They probably have masks on all the time, Smith.
What's that?
Their regional outfit. They always have masks on.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's no big deal.
Some octopus out there.
Right. So, guys, we're going to have some info on that too. I reached out. So I was on this. This is kind of inside information we get here, Webb. So I reached out. We started seeing Korean baseball. We're trying to be like, well, let's get let's get some information on this Korean baseball. So I get on these Facebook pages that are all about, like, who knew? On Facebook, there's like a whole groups of fans that are Korean baseball fans. Yep. And so I talked to this guy, Michael Delgado today, who's like a huge fan of Korean baseball. He's thank you for your service, Michael. He's in the Air Force. He's an F-16 mechanic, and so he spent time in Korea, and now he's in Germany now. But he spent time in Korea, became this Korean baseball fan. He knows all about Korean baseball because I've been noticing it's been trending under in the runs total, and he was talking about how bad the pitching is in Korean baseball, and I was wondering why. And he kind of gave a couple good reasons why. Is that the very short preseason, like we've talked about here in the Major League Baseball and everything, and usually early on in the Major League Baseball season too, it takes a little while for the hitters to catch up to the pitchers. Usually, it seems like
cold
pitchers. Yeah. It takes a little while to get the timing down, all that kind of stuff. But he also brought up something good, saying the home runs could be down from no fans. He said in Korean baseball, it's much like the way he described it was much like those soccer games you see in Europe, where people are like cheering, screaming the whole time and doing dancing and singing and all kind of stuff, and it like kind of jacks up the hitters a little bit, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe,
get that adrenaline.
They lose a little bit of oomph. So anyway, just late night tonight. If you hear this before 4:30 in the morning Eastern time, tonight we're going with the under, and we got the who we end up taking?
The Dinos. We got the Dinos and the under.
Yeah. Dinos or Dinos? I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's the Dinos.
Right? Dinos, dinosaur.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll play a couple games. Their third baseman is like a vacuum cleaner over there. So I'll play a couple games. Please smooth. The infield is smooth. So hopefully we'll have another low run scoring game, and the Dinos will take care of the.
I do agree with Michael Delgado about the runs are going to come. Eventually, we're going to have to flip it and go on the over. I agree. He had some good insights. It was a really good read. Thank you, Michael. I didn't realize you were in the service. Thank you for your service as well. But yeah, I mean, it's always better to bet the over too. It's no matter what sport it is. I think even in baseball, you're waiting. It's never over. So I will not be watching 4:30 tonight, but I will be up early in the morning checking it out. So, but I'm excited.
Actually, tonight, I think this is a little bit early. It might be like 2:30 in the morning, but maybe 3:30 in the morning your time. But we'll see.
Let's see. It's even that early for dude right in LA. So Dave's got it. He can get it going.
Yeah, this has been pretty fun. We got a couple guys, the West Coast, East Coast. Kind of coming together, putting our heads together, trying to get the inside information on this Korean stuff. So, Webb, the NFL schedule comes out. NFL, like they're just business as usual. Schedules coming out.
What virus? What COVID? COVID what?
Yeah, coronavirus. What? They got nothing. For that. So, what do you think? Anything stand out for you about the NFL schedule that came out?
It's hard to get a read on it this year. For me in particular, I'm not sure what the preseason is going to look like. I have no doubt they're going to start on time. I think it's going to be harder for particularly the Bengals just because Burrow's going to be starting from week 1. It's going to be difficult for him. And I think some of the other teams where with a new quarterback may be a little bit difficult. Maybe not so much like Rivers, guy's been doing it forever, but some of the other teams with new starters, I think they'll get off to a little bit of a slower start maybe than some of the other more established teams with the QBs, coach, OC combination. So that's the only thing I thought. Of course, the Cowboys kick it off at prime time on Sunday night, opening yet another stadium. So I'm excited just to see that there. This even makes me more of I was not the biggest Goodell fan, but I guess I'm all behind his just completely ignoring the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, they're just moving on, business as usual. I'm telling you,
right.
Until the day that the final ticket money is in, then they'll be like, "Oh, listen, now the abundance of caution." They did come out and say, "Listen, they did set up a refund policy just in case it comes to that."
Yeah.
But as they set out to schedule it, but I was noticing the Saints, man, they got 10 nationally televised games. Some of them are those afternoon Sunday games. I just want to say this. I know you're a Cowboys man, and I want to pick on you a little bit too, because you always call me a homer with the Saints. Always call me a homer.
You are.
Okay. We did the NFL draft show last week, and I'm like, "Oh, Webb, what do you think about how did the draft go? NFL draft go? You're an analyst. You're a sports expert analyst, and you just come out right and say, I think the Cowboys did great.
They did. Even if the value versus need,
that was your biggest takeaway?
It was a home run. Yeah. That they, in my opinion, I don't know who did better.
You don't
There
know
were
who
some
did
who
better?
did better.
Not
There's
some
some
of
who
those teams
did
that had
as good.
10 players.
Well, that 10 plays ain't making the team.
Because you
10
pick up
players
a
aren't
wide
going to
receiver.
impact.
Yeah, if you had a dime for every wide receiver in the first round that got picked up and didn't turn out to be shit, man, we would have a bigger podcast right now. I'll tell you that.
Well, that true
You had a
enough.
dime
But
for every
only
Oklahoma
takes
Sooner
one,
that
baby.
Jerry Jones picked too early. You'd have $1 million
He
too.
doesn't pick a lot of Sooners. He went to Arkansas, not Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. All right. So what? Delete.
Swing and a miss.
Post production.
Cut that out. Cut that one out.
Yeah, but he's always liked Oklahoma. How about that?
Right. Yeah, he likes Lincoln
Oh,
Riley.
what the fuck do I think that? Oh, because Barry Switzer was the Oklahoma guy. No,
That's true. That is true.
but
that
what
is
did he
true.
beat Barry Switzer in Arkansas or something?
No, he did actually. I think.
All right, that is what happened.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's where
And
the connection.
Jimmy Johnson, as a matter of fact.
That's where the connection comes in.
Yeah.
All right. But I was just going to say the Saints, dude. I'll tell you something. The Saints are America's team.
Not even the Saints are like new money. Like they couldn't even get into the country club if they wanted to. They couldn't buy one measly championship. And how long they wear bags on their head for all of our childhood. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Are you
If
kidding
the Saints
me?
are new money, then what are the Cowboys? But an old dilapidated
they're
run
the
down
old money.
mansion built-
How
old
many,
beach
the Saints
mansion,
have one championship, okay? And how many playoffs? I bet you compare the playoff
You compare the last
appearances since.
how about we compare the second half of our lifetime?
Go ahead.
The Saints in the last 10 years have been nothing but playoffs all the time. Playoffs all the time.
Not every year. So I bet you go back since they won the Super Bowl.
Sean
How
Payton
many
era.
Saints? Not every year. Not every year. Go back to
Just like 2 playoffs in the Saints era the last 8 years.
I'd venture to say it's less than that.
And they couple 2-3 NFC championships. Your boys went years and years without even winning a playoff game.
Playoffs. That don't matter. Still got 5 championships.
The Saints, listen.
They open up. The
no.
Cowboys have 5 national night games. Not this nonsense at 4:00 when there's only 2 games on.
The
Cowboys
Saints
open open stadiums. They're open in SoFi. They open the Texans Stadium. They open MetLife. The list goes on and on. There's one team. Well, who's worth more money, the Saints or the Cowboys?
Well, the Cowboys probably.
Thank you. More than any other franchise in history of any sport.
Are they more?
They're not only America's team. They're the world's team. They are international.
Christ.
If you want to break it down, if you really want to poke the bear. Did you see Jerry Jones in the draft? He didn't even touch a phone.
You got me on.
He had girls holding the phone for women. I'm surprised they weren't dancing around them. Feeding them grapes.
Fucking Saints got 10 national.
As of now, wait till they get flexed.
They opened the Las Vegas Stadium. Monday Night Football. Who's playing? The Saints.
Oh, well, that's legit. That's something. Right? That's something.
That's legit. First 4 weeks. First week. By the way, I'm wearing shades now. We're on TV now. We got YouTube. We got to go a little more Hollywood web. We got to be like the Tiger King. We got to be like the Tiger King.
Tiger King, yeah.
Podcasting.
I saw Nicolas Cage is going to play the Tiger King in a movie. I thought that was a perfect. Someone knows what they're doing at least. That's like a perfect scenario.
Yeah, so we open at Tampa Bay. That's going to be the Drew Brees, Tom Brady deal. Then we go on the road.
Nothing to do with Brady. That has nothing to do with that game being a national game. Nothing to do with Tom Brady.
Man, look, then we play the Packers on Monday night at home. Then with the week 5, we go to the Chargers Monday Night Football. I mean, it's just time and time, week in, week out. Christmas Day, they got a game, one game in the National Football League.
Who plays every Thanksgiving for your entire life?
Yeah, that's just right. Because they made that rule back in 1970, the last time they won something.
Right, so they were relevant then. They've been relevant.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been relevant in 20 years.
Forbes would beg to differ.
America's team, baby.
Jerry Jones says no.
New Orleans Saints, America's team.
Yacht says no.
And they just I like Jerry Jones' draft setup. I gotta admit that shit was badass. He had girls holding phones for him. That was cool.
He didn't touch anything. He ain't getting no coronavirus.
I'm gonna sit on a sanitized white couch and have ladies walk up and hold their phone in front of my face. Don't be breathing on me.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Jerry Jones, what he pulled off on the draft, not the picks, but his draft situation I'll give you that.
Yeah, nothing better.
I'll give you that. So,
and I guess your rant on the Saints draft, they just ended up cutting, what's the dude's name? Warford or Warford?
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that was the writing was on the wall once they picked that interior offensive lineman up after they did the same thing in the first round last year. The writing was on the wall for that point.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, if they did get beat up the front in that playoff game, that's not the worst pick.
Yeah. So that's the way it goes. So we've been putting out. I wanted to say real quick, we got Scott Wheatley does our horse racing picks, and he did real good. He had both of the winners at the Arkansas Derby last week, and had both of the winners race 11 and race 13. You can check him out. He's got his own website and his own Facebook page now and his own Twitter and all that shit. It's called the Thoroughbred Report, and he's got daily picks on there every day. And he said there's the pick 6 this weekend. It's guaranteed to win $6 million. So we might have to put a $2 bet on that sucker.
Might as well. We've done more for less.
Right at Gulfstream. So take a look. It's the pick 6. It starts from race 7 on, and it's a guaranteed $6 million if you get the. So I guess you got to pick 6 damn winners, but
I guess that's out in Hallandale, Florida, right outside of Miami. So again, Miami is the same. Florida is the same as South Korea. They don't. They must. That's where must be where the NFL office is. They don't. They didn't. There's no coronavirus in Florida.
Coronavirus.
Right.
So just wanted to say to Scott Wheatley, thanks for the picks last week. We did good. I screwed up and I picked the wrong. I used his horses and then I accidentally gave you the wrong number. I was going to pick the bet on the 12th race and was going to put the 4 across the board of the 12th. He finished 3rd, but I ended up with an extra $30 in tickets that I didn't need for the one. So that screwed me up. But that's not his fault.
I followed him, and he did. I mean, like I said, he had those winners, but I didn't. The exact is we can't do tries through our office online, but it didn't work out. But it was good. He was right there. I mean, that's all you could ask for.
He won the pick 3. He won the pick 3. He bet the 3 races, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And he got the 11th and the 13th. He picked the 1 horse, and then I think he had 3 horses boxed for that 12th race, and one of them.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yep, that's the way to do it. But yeah, that's all you could ask for is in it. It'll be right there. It was exciting, and it's it's for entertainment purposes only. So it was all good.
All right, so let's move on to the UFC web. UFC 249 Saturday night. We talked about that a little bit. I reached out to my man Jeffrey Hoffman. Used to be of MMAtribune.com.
Yeah.
Now his new website is called Fight Sport Focus. FightSportFocus.com. And he's got a bunch of picks, and then you got a guy too, Webb, that came up.
Yeah, we have our insiders. We came up. They're very surprised that Pettis was in the prelim. They do have him winning that fight. I think that's. I like that as well. Just on the research I did real quick after talking to our person, and then Uriah Hall's the other one we got. It's a small dog, which we're going to take that to win. But I do like the over in that 2.5 rounds, and then in the main card, it's tough. Ferguson's, I guess, getting older. Maybe he's going to be out the pasture pretty soon, is what I'm hearing. And he does have the reach, and Justin can, whatever his, I forgot, I can't even pronounce his last name. Anyways, he's got that cement shin, so he could take a punch. But I am going with, I'm going to go with Ferguson. He is a little bit of a favorite, and then the over there as well. So I think the over. I heard 4-round TKO, something like that. So I really like the over in that main event.
All right. So, and then let's see. And the other, just so you want to know what Jeffrey Hoffman's got in the prelims, he went the opposite with went with Cerrone instead of Pettis. That's the underdog. But in the prelims, he's got Spann, Mitchell, Luke, Hall, Wooderson, and Werdum and Cerrone. And then if we go right down the main event cards, first one is ex-NFL player Greg Hardy, Webb.
Yeah.
He's minus 190 against Yorgan De Castro. And he picked De Castro in a second round knockout or TKO.
Yep.
And then you move on. We got Calvin Kattar was a heavy favorite against Jeremy Stevens. So he's got a decision in that one.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, they get some crazy names here. Francis Ngannou. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Right.
Sorry for being an amateur with this MMA stuff. Maybe we'll have Jeffrey on next time so he can tell us how to pronounce the names at least. And And those two dudes, I see pictures and fights of those two. Those two guys are the beast, big, hard hitting heavyweights. He's got the Rosetnik in a decision. That's the underdog. Yeah, that's the underdog too, and he's gotten that. And then he's got Henry Cejudo against Dominic Martinez against Dominic Cruz, and he's got Cejudo. Third round KO and TKO, and then in the Ferguson, like you said, I think he's getting a little up there. Oh, but he's got Ferguson in a fourth round KO, TKO.
Oh, there we go. All right, that might be.
So we'll have to look and compare what these two guys got.
Yeah, definitely like the over.
All right, and then Webb, yesterday, ESPN. Well, actually, it was funny. They had yesterday was the anniversary of the time when the famous press conference with Allen Iverson with the practice. You talking about
That's
practice?
Great. That's great. Yeah, it was right before it was a little bit towards the end of the season. That's right. I remember. I wouldn't have known it was May. Yeah, that's one of those things you'll never forget. Even non-sports, non-basketball guys, you'll hear them pull out the practice, the line.
And they had ESPN. Their top 10 last night was like top 10 famous like press conferences. You know, they had all the they had the Jets coach when he was like, "You play to win the game."
Oh yeah,
play to win the game. Yeah. They just made me laugh. The whole 10 made me laugh. They got the Oklahoma State dude that was going off about, "I'm a man. Mess with me. You don't mess with him. I'm a man."
Andy, I'm sure they had Dennis Green on there.
Right.
We thought
Dennis Green, right? They are who they thought they were. Let them off the hook. Yep. Of course, Jim Mora in the practice. Playoffs.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's great. That's great.
But anyway, they had another dude who was like, I forget, he was like from some small school, like Charlotte something, and it was like, we need more. We got too many cats in here. We need dogs. We need dogs. He's going. They're looking at their wristbands and shit. He's going. I'll have to pull that up and watch it. That.
Classic.
Right. So, I don't know. I was thinking too, man, all the shit going on. We've been talking a lot about the quarantine life and stuff. They got finally getting happy. Like we're pulling out of this shit. It's like, at least they're scheduling stuff and moving down on. Well, now they got the murder hornets coming out.
Yeah. What is that? What is it?
I don't know. It's like this. You see videos of these things?
Oh.
They like tear shit up. So there's a video of them. One of them like totally messing up a rat, like killing a rat.
It's a real thing. Like a bee?
Yeah, it's like real big. It's like this big, and it's got a big old stinger and like badass like venom and shit like that. And they swarm and but I'm just thinking like who makes up these names?
Well, was that like a murder of crows? Like more than one crow is a murder.
I don't know. I think they're talking about murder. I thought they got that murder like that.
Like you get killed?
Like
187?
They're like, listen, we got everybody in quarantine. They got the coronavirus going on, all this shit. What could be worse than worse than a hornet?
Hornets?
Like killer bees. Hornets? Killer bees? No, not killer bees. We need something. We need something more than that. More than a killer bee. I know. I got it. Murder hornets.
Right. That's right. That's even better. What's going to be next year? Where's the conspiracy theorist out there is going to come at? It's something by the Democrats probably.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Democrats to keep us inside or whatever it is.
Keep it going.
Murder hornets. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If murder hornets start swimming around here, I'm staying inside.
Yeah. Hey, that's good enough for me.
But that would be a badass name for like a minor league baseball team or something like that.
Exactly. Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the fucking murder hornets are coming to town.
That's right.
Baby Cakes. The New Orleans had the minor league team. They changed the name to Baby Cakes. Now, like the Murder Hornets, that's a team you want to reckon with.
Fuck the Pelicans and the Nets, the Murder Hornets.
Right. That's the real
deal.
There
you go. Yeah, that's right. That'd be a hell of a logo, too. You get real creative with that.
All right. So I don't know. Murder. I don't know what. Probably, like if it wasn't for this coronavirus, like we probably would have got stories of this murder hornet and been like, well, they probably got these crazy ass bees coming to town and shit, but certainly they'll figure out a way to deal with this. By the time it reaches us in civilization, they're gonna figure this shit out. But now that coronavirus is, you don't know what the hell is gonna happen.
That's right. We're preoccupied.
I have no faith that somebody's out there gonna kill the murder hornet before it gets to me.
No, that's right. You got to defend you got to take your own terms, your own defensive tactics.
Right. No more relying on government. They can't protect
absolutely not. Don't rely on the EPA or the mosquito squad, whatever.
Back in the day, like A month ago, you'd have been able to be like, don't fucking deal with that little pesticide.
That's right. That's right.
But I don't know. They got murder hornets. You see The Last Dance this week? Episodes 5 and 6?
I didn't see 6. I saw 5. 6 I queued up, and then I don't know, something happened. I haven't seen it yet, but I will. Jordan was laying on the couch smoking his cigar.
Yeah. Can't get enough. Can't get enough of this show.
Right.
Just like my show. What's my show? I watch Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right.
All right. I can't get enough of the show. I love it. Jordan had a great one of the episodes was about his gambling.
That's 6. Yeah, that's one. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and did a little bit of his gambling, and I just love it because it's probably like that's how maybe I have this too. When I've thought I have a real bad gambling problem, and he says, "No, I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competitiveness problem."
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what it is for me when I get into issues. I'm like, man, I'm just so fucking competitive that I want to win something. I want to win something. And I lose. I want to go back right in the next day and play again.
Right. That's right. And then, like I said, it's not a problem if you win. So you can't. There's no lottery winners saying, you know what, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Good.
Right. Yeah. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't do that.
Right. You don't see,
nobody shows up at Gamblers Anonymous the day after they just hit a big one.
Driving a Mercedes. Right. No one's. William Hill Sportsbook isn't. Giving it back. Right. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. Nobody's like, listen, hello, my name is Steve Smith, and I have a gambling problem. I just hit the lottery yesterday.
That's right.
I just had my biggest day in Vegas ever yesterday.
I just went. I just had the dice for 17 hours at the MGM. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, they flew me here, and I'm going to be with Jerry Jones on his yacht next.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on, don't forget Wilbur Investigations up there in the Monmouth County area. Thanks again, George Burge III and his pop and all the people at Wilbur Investigations. If you're got some fraud going on or need a little investigation, like I said, I don't know if they do this. They said they don't, but I bet if you came to them and said, "Hey, I think my old lady might be fooling around," hey, they might be able to track something, get some pictures, just like they do in the movies. I could picture George Burge in a trench coat and one of those fedora-looking hats, running around, take some pictures.
Right, that's right. Running over to the Moon Motel.
Yeah. Professional investigators right there at Wilbur Investigations. This show is sponsored by them, at least until somebody else sponsors us. That's for sure.
Hey, there's room for more than one. We're taking we are for sale, like we said, and we're taking all comers. So,
and I'm not even drinking tonight. I forgot to pour my shit and stuff like that. So, can't even hold the bottles up like I usually do for fun.
All right. Well, we'll still take Makers, Miller Lite, Corona.
I'm not even sure what kind of sunglasses these are, but I was going to maybe plug those. Maybe if we start being like influencers, they'll just tell us to wear shit.
That's right. That's right. We'll wear any swag, any gear, whatever you need. Under Armour.
Wager makers.
Yeah.
Excuse my big long ass hair. I got long quarantine hair. Got a beard. Working a beard, Web.
I shaved today. Yeah, good. Girls cut my hair. One of those days.
All right.
Coming to an end, though.
Well, I was going to shave my head, but my wife says my head's too big. It's going to look stupid. So now I'm going the opposite. I got
why they make hats.
Yeah. Now I got a spite beard and a spite hairdo going on. I'm just going to grow it forever.
Right.
Until it becomes part of my back hair. I'm going to grow this and just let it become part of my back hair.
Nice. That's a good look.
All one. You don't know where my neck and my back.
Maybe we should just go back to the no video, just audio.
Yeah. This is getting too personal.
Right. There's got to be some sports more than South Korean baseball at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll just if I lose a bet, I'll just shave my head on the air.
There we go. That's right.
Or I'll shave my back. I'll shave my back.
There you go. That's it.
That would be. Now, if you want to get into Tiger King territory, shave my back on TV.
Sharon can wax it. There you go.
That would hurt, man.
It's all right. That's good. It's good cast.
One for the team?
Yeah, it's good cast. What'd you think about the lines? Did you take a look at them for week 1? I know.
Well, I thought it was interesting that the Saints are favored by 6.5 in that game. Man, I'm not laying Tom Brady 6.5 his first game with those wide receivers.
4.5 here.
All right.
I still think it's a little high, but
yeah, I was thinking maybe three if they're at home.
Right. It's funny. The Patriots are still favored over the Dolphins by 6. Almost a touchdown on the road. That's funny. Actually, I think they're home. Actually, the Patriots, right? Yes, the Patriots are home. KC laying 10. They open up on that Thursday night against Houston. I'm not. Houston's one of those teams. Who knows? I think he's the worst coach. And now that Hopkins is gone, what are they going to look like? That's
but I still think that's a lot, man. You know what I mean? I think Houston's a solid team, and everybody's gung ho, crazy KC stuff. But that seemed like a high. That seemed like a high one to me.
Baltimore 8.5 against Cleveland. How about that 56.5? That KC spread. That's that over under. That seems high.
Especially first game of the season, they might not be clicking on all cylinders just yet.
Right.
You know?
Especially with depending again, seeing what's going on with the preseason. I think the defense will start off a little bit better than the offense. It's see ball, get ball type thing.
Right.
Detroit's favorite over the Bears. How is that possible? I mean, the Bears. That's just another sham. Oh, Nick Perone Jets getting 5.5 against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I saw that. Nothing like having your team 6 months from the season and getting a touchdown on the road.
Right. Colts are favored by 7.5. I don't see where Phillip Rivers gets that respect. He gets against Jacksonville, but still, that's and that's on the road. Miami's favored by 6 at home against Miami. How about the Vikings? That's at home against Green Bay, 3.5. Phillies -6 at the Redskins. I think the Redskins are one of those teams early on can get a couple wins just based on that. I think their defense is going to be good.
New coach, firing them up a little bit, playing better
coach.
Defense, getting a little more consistent, little more disciplined, I should say, a little more disciplined.
Yeah, right, exactly right. They'll be buttoned up, and I do think the defense will be a little bit ahead of the curve early on. Seattle's -1 at Atlanta. That's an interesting game. I'm not sure what either team is. I mean, Seattle's always consistent. I don't know what Atlanta's going to be doing. LA Chargers -3.5 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I'm thinking, is not going to do too much.
Yeah, especially if it turns out to be no preseason stuff going on. Who is even Cincinnati's backup quarterback? Or you just throw Joe Burrow in no matter what, even if they don't practice?
I mean, that's a great question. I don't know who it would be. That's what's the kid's name? It's on the top. I think he went to USC, but he's nothing. Nothing that's going to get them anything. I mean, you're probably better off playing Burrow as long as they can protect him a little bit. I think AJ Green is back, right? And they do have that running back Mixon. So they'll be, but I just think it's going to be so fucking fast for him. But we'll see. Vegas is Carolina. It's Vegas. I like that. Vegas getting the point. I guess it's at Carolina.
It's at Carolina. That
one. Okay. Yep. And then the Niners 7.5. That's home against Arizona. I think I like that one. I don't know. I mean, Arizona. I still think their defense is going to suck, and I think they may figure out Murray this year a little bit better. And then we got your Saints 4.5.
Yeah, right. So I'm 4.5 now.
I think that's just.
I still think that's high. Can you give Tom Brady 4.5 points? I'm not.
High. Right. Dallas -3 at the Rams. I'm not sure if I see that. I mean, I'm not sure if the Rams are going to do. They got rid of a lot.
I'm not impressed with the Rams.
Yeah, I think they went for it. I don't blame them though, because they went for it and they got to a Super Bowl and they were there. So that philosophy isn't too bad. Right. But I think they're definitely trending downward. Pittsburgh -3 at the Giants. That's going to be interesting too. Is Roethlisberger going to be under 290 pounds?
He's starting to look like me. He kind of looked like me. His beard's a little further along.
Yeah. And I don't know what the Giants are going to do. Again, they got what's his name, Barkley. And a tight end is decent too, but they got a new coach now, and this kid's got to learn again. He's not like he played it all that well last year, so I'm not sure about that one. And then I guess Monday night is Tennessee, Denver -3 at home in Tennessee, and I don't know. I mean, Denver's another team that I got question marks about too. So obviously it's real early, but I don't know, man. And no one's, it seems like it's going to be the usual. Probably usual suspects minus maybe New England. I don't know.
Yep. Good stuff. Yeah, I was a little surprised the Saints are giving Tom Brady, man. I think Tampa Bay's going to be good. And I know everybody, that was kind of like last year, everybody thought Cleveland was going to be good. But that was the difference between jumping on Mayfield-led team and jumping on a Tom Brady-led team are like two different.
Not only that, I mean, you got Bruce Arians versus Freddie Kitchens. You got, and not only that, they did the right thing. They're surrounding him with blockers. If you're going to give him time, especially with those two receivers, he's going to do some. They do got a couple good tight ends, and their defense was pretty at least above average. So they'll be, contending for sure. I don't know. They'll be head to head with the Saints. That's a decent division. I do think Carolina will be down, and Atlanta is always, I guess I still got those decent years with Shanahan was the coach in my head. I do think Quinn's a shit coach too, but they do have some talent on that team. Julio Jones, and they got Gurley too, right? I think they did get Gurley, the Rams.
Yep.
Excuse me, from the Rams, the Falcons. So that's going to be a pretty good division.
Yep. Not like that NFC East bunch of swags.
Yeah, you got the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's all that matters. I think it takes two. That's all you got in your division is two.
Yeah. Oh well.
We'll see.
All right. So we got anything else for today? I mean, obviously that was we'll see how the UFC fights turn out. We'll talk about that a little bit next week. We'll talk a little more about hopefully we're 1 week closer to having action of some kind. We'll know a little bit more about that. Hopefully we're 1 week closer to bars being open in New Orleans. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll give you our weekend tally for South Korean baseball with the UFC, and then I am actually looking for that race. You said is this Saturday at Gulfstream. I'm going to check that out.
It's you pick the 6 races, I think.
Right. Well, at least it'll be racing, so it'll be something to do. So that's great. So it's getting there, man. Brick by brick. Not only wager makers building it brick by brick, but the gambling world is coming back brick by brick. Oh, and they're doing drive-in. You showed me that drive-in gambling, which surprised it took them that long. It's one of those things. Like, of course they should be doing that.
Right. Well, though it wasn't even any reason to do it in the beginning. It was hardly anything to bet on. But at least they're doing it. Yeah, I think it was I forget which one in Vegas, and I guess probably a few of them are doing it now.
Oh, they're all going to do it.
Where you can drive through to gamble.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So like why not?
Donuts. Yeah, hell yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
Only problem is when you lose, you got to keep going around. You be going around in circles. Everybody sets out with a plan and puts their regular tickets down, but once the dominoes start falling, you got to go back to the window a few more times.
That's right. You got to fill up, get some more gas.
Oh shit. So all right. Well, I don't know. You got anything else for today?
That's it, Smitt. They're opening. They said the governor of New Jersey came out and said he'd be shocked if the beaches weren't open for Memorial Day. Just another check mark in getting back to normal side of the column there. So that's another thing I meant to mention that early on. Other positive things. So getting there.
Cool, man. Don't forget, everybody, you can check out if you're looking for this Korean baseball action. We put it on our Facebook and our Twitter and our Instagram every day, and for free picks every day on this baseball stuff. So if we have something, we're going to try and give it to you. Hopefully we'll give you some winners. So check out our Facebook page, The Wager Makers Podcast, Twitter at The Wager Makers, Instagram at The Wager Makers. You can email us any questions at all, thewagermakers@gmail.com, Facebook or Twitter. That's it. John Groh, thank you for the great bumper music. Wilbur Investigations, thank you for the sponsorship. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, YouTube, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. Devin's going to mention how to listen to us on YouTube. All right. Thanks, Devin. And thank you all for listening. Really appreciate it. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. We're going to be back sooner than later. It's all coming together. Thank you to Wilbur Investigations, obviously, and everybody, please listen to Devi. We need subscriptions, likes, notifications, all that stuff. Tell a friend, and do not hesitate to reach out. Twitter, any of that other stuff. We're going to do. We're going to smash this UFC, and then we'll have this South Korean baseball figured out before the weekend too. So come Monday morning, we're all going to be in the plus. So hop on.
Yeah, for real. Tell friends, man. Tell friends to listen to us. If you like it, if you like the show.